riled up and rowdy home crowd here. From Davis Wade Stadium in Starkville, Mississippi, 12th ranked LSU, 2-0 and feeling really good. But what's right in front of them, one of the loudest environments in college football. Mississippi State, the Bulldogs also 2-0. Joe Tessitore, Todd Blackledge, Holly Rowe with you here in what just feels the part of an early primetime SEC showdown. Todd, both these teams 2-0. Neither has been tested yet. Now they will test each other.
Absolutely. The best team by far that they've faced yet for both teams. And there's a lot of emotion, a lot of early emotion, pregame emotion. And right away, we're going to see the two individuals that were the most hyped that I saw before the game. Darius Geis, the running back for LSU, and Jeffrey Simmons, the defensive nose guard for Mississippi State.
Bulldogs won the toss. They deferred. LSU will receive. Edwards-Helaire and Williams back. Cowbells are out in force. We got a good one down in the deep south in prime time. Let's play some ball. Let's check in with Holly. It was hyped early, Holly.
Well, LSU is getting some big help back up front. Arden Key returns to this team for the first time since December. He led them in sacks a year ago, and he tweeted out early this morning that the feeling in his gut cannot compare. He is so excited to return to this team. His father told The Advocate earlier this week his son had to step away and regain some balance after feeling the pressure of football, but he got a rather rude welcome tonight. Look at this. In pregame warm-ups, he is stretching in the end zone when Jeffrey Simmons of Mississippi State comes down and says a little something. Antics ensued. John Battle, the safety for LSU, had his back and got things mixed up. A lot of emotion already tonight.
No doubt. You can feel it. As Geis spins his way for a gain of 4 yards, and it was Simmons who got a piece of him.
He didn't get enough of it. You know, and that is two elite players in this ballgame as we see LSU going up-tempo now, first possession.
Danny Etling to pass as he gets it complete to DJ Chark. It'll be third and about 1.
LSU is a run-oriented offense. Matt Canada, the new offensive coordinator, has been very successful in every stop of his career. And LSU offensively has adapted to this new system very well. Third down and short. You got a lot of options here if you're LSU. The best option might be to give it to number 5.
And he muscles his way to move the chains. Of course, Danny Etling is the quarterback for LSU. His second year as a starter. 9-3 as their starting quarterback. Grew up in Indiana, went to Purdue, and then transferred his way to the SEC. This is 25th career start. Started 12 games at Purdue, Todd.
And the way this offense is built, this is a perfect time now after that first down for a little play action deep shot.
And this is Edwards-Helaire from that wing position. They will have a lot of that rocket motion throughout the night with Matt Canada's offense. Fletcher Adams running them down.
You have to be aware of that because it's a threat every play. You have that action. They want to run inside with Geis and go play action with maximum protection. And then the thing they have not shown that I expect we'll see tonight is the shovel pass inside off of that same motion and action. The go-to receiver right now for LSU, DJ Chark, out here in motion. Now, there is a lot of emotion, and both teams.
False start. Offense, number 66, 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Both teams are going to have to manage the emotion of the game. For Ed Orgeron's team at LSU, they have got 20 true freshmen that are playing in the game. A pre-snap penalty and then a little post-snap exchange. And again, Simmons right in the middle of everything so far early in this ballgame.
22nd penalty of the season already for LSU. And now they shift to an unbalanced line as they go with the tackle over, as you saw Weathersby come over to the left side. Play action off of it. Etling looking downfield. Chark wide open. How about it? Flag is down. Back at the 39-yard line as DJ Chark goes 66 yards, and they're going to take a slow walk back.
Pass interference. Offense, number 10. 15-yard penalty. Second down.
Stephon Sullivan, number 10, 6'6", 235. He was the outside receiver. It's a rub route. I don't know. He's still running his route. I mean, he didn't turn to block the guy. He just got caught up. I think that's the defender's job to get away from that contact. They called the penalty. I don't think that's a penalty on Stephon Sullivan. He never broke stride in his route. I think it's a bad call.
We're used to seeing that with a slant arrow combo on the goal line. We're not used to seeing it running a deep vertical like that. He was running his route. You're absolutely right, Todd. So it's 2nd and 29, even with that. And here is Chark again, finding a little bit of space on the slant, getting it back to the 30. 3rd and 17. Etling gonna tuck and run. Picked up a block from Morrow as he stretches it out over the 40-yard line.
You know, one of the real problem areas for LSU, they've done a lot of good things in the first 2 games, but penalties have been a problem. And 2 already in that first possession. 1 they deserve. The second one, a horrible call that not only went against them, but it took points off the board on the touchdown throw to Chark.
Donald Gray will be back to return. Josh Browden punt. Sophomore from Sydney, Australia. Fair catch at the 20. What could have been for LSU, but the penalty brought it back. About to see Nick Fitzgerald, sensational quarterback from Mississippi State. Tadio, what do you like about this guy?
I like his unique skill set. He's got a very live arm. He's 6'5", 230 pounds, and can really run. He's not a make-you-miss runner or a power runner like Tim Tebow was in this offense, but if he gets on the perimeter, he can outrun angles.
And here is Fitzgerald. Picked up a really nice block, and just like that, moving the chains. Well, he's really got that dynamic aspect about him.
Well, and you have to guard against it. If you're a defense, you have to be careful how aggressive you are because of the quarterback run threat. Again, he's not a make-you-miss guy. He's a long strider, but he has outstanding speed when he gets to the perimeter. He was a wide receiver for a good amount of time in his high school career.
Here's Eris Williams, and another nice block and a big chunk play for the Bulldogs.
Pull the backside tackle, Martinez Rankin. Watch number 55 pull out in front of this. They get that LSU defense moving one way and bring the counter back to the outside. And a nice block by Rankin on the inside linebacker, Donnie Alexander. And 2 big runs right out of the gate for the Bulldogs.
16 yards Fitzgerald, 19 yards Williams. Good start for Mississippi State. And now a completed pass as he goes underneath to Keith Mixon.
And Arden Key made his presence felt. He's on the field to start, has not played since the bowl game last year. Not sure how many plays they can get out of him, and it is a very hot night. It's significantly hotter than it was here in Starkville for their opening game. So Arden Key, they'd hope to get 30 plays. We'll see how he holds up.
2nd and 5. Field is shaded now, but it was toasting in the sun at nearly 90 degrees for most of the day. And that is incomplete. Incomplete that time, as Jesse Jackson couldn't complete the process.
Yeah, I think they're going to call offensive pass interference. It's the same kind of play where there was contact with a defender, but that was well played by the defender.
Pass interference. Offense, number 82. 10-yard penalty. 2nd down.
So on Farrod Green, one of their rangy tight ends, you see a trips formation, Green in the middle. See, he went more literally and made contact. That was different than the penalty that was called against LSU. That was a lot more obvious that it was a pick and a rub type play. Plus, that's a bigger man as a tight end than a wide receiver.
Compared to the flag that negated the 66-yard touchdown earlier. Holly. Check in with Holly in just a bit. 2nd and 20.
Well, Joe, you talked about the return of Arden Key, a very special moment just before he took the field. You know, you think his teammates would be mad at him. He's been gone for 4 months, not with them. Well, before he took the field on that first possession just now, every single guy on the defense came over and touched him, whether it was a rub on the back, a pat on the behind, rubbing his shoulders, giving him a hug, letting him know that he was back in the brotherhood. It was a very sweet moment as he took the field.
Well, I thought it was interesting when we talked to Dave Aranda last night, the defensive coordinator. He said just his presence. He's got a big smile, and his leadership is valuable to us with him back on the field.
3rd and 16. Pressure on Fitzgerald as Donnie Alexander was closing in.
Dave Aranda loves to bring pressures. This was not a blitz. This was only a 4-man rush, but it was an unblocked guy. They got the protection to go one way, and then the outside guy, Donnie Alexander, is going to come unblocked. It's not a blitz, but they don't pick up the free rusher, and Donnie Alexander gets to the quarterback. Arden Key actually didn't even rush the passer that time.
Stark with a fair catch, hovering around the 10. LSU has won 8 straight games here in Starkville. Short break. We'll be right back. Matthew Stafford, former SEC star quarterback, recently signed a big contract. And some NFL success between these two programs in week 1. Fletcher Cox had himself a scoop and score. And that was Darrell Williams on the carry for LSU, met by Bryant.
Darrell Williams is also a senior, 6'1", 229 pounds. Doesn't have the same type of breakaway speed that Darius Geis has, but he's a guy who has an NFL skill set as well. .30 yards rushing now for LSU early in the ball game.
Here's that tackle overload as the tight ends shift to the left side. Williams again as he was wrapped up. Not finding much running room there.
Got to set an edge. When you hear a coach say setting an edge, it means the outside defender has to keep everything forced back inside. And that was extremely well done by Mississippi State that time, bringing up 3rd down.
Third and 3 for Grantham's defense. To pass, Etling with time, but overthrew Foster Morrow.
I think Etling got distracted. The tailback, Darrell Williams, was trying to block a rushing linebacker, and he just went too low, and the linebacker jumped over him and really affected the vision of Etling on that 3rd down throw.
Danny connected on his first 3 passes, 0 for 4 since then. Ground on to punt again. As Gray was driven all the way back to the 20-yard line. Coverage unit couldn't chase him down. He made the most of it.
Donald Gray is going to come out of the ball game right now because he was the guy returning that punt. But very soon, Mississippi State needs to find a way to get him the football. He is a big-time playmaker for this offense, and he has not had an impact yet here in the first quarter, and we're under a minute.
Arden Key not out there for the Tigers here. Fitzgerald with time, going to take a shot downfield, but that is beyond the reach of the intended target. That was Thomas downfield.
He came out of the backfield and got matched up on a linebacker, and they had what they wanted. He had a step on the defender, just a slight overthrown ball by Fitzgerald. The formation created the mismatch, but they weren't able to capitalize.
checks over to Coach Mullen. Second down. Williams lowers that shoulder and gets a little something extra out beyond the 40.
The offensive line coach and co-offensive coordinator John Hevesy, when he was talking to us about Williams, he said he is as hard a working guy as I've ever been around.
There's Fitz with a completion out to Keith Mixon. And that'll be a first down for Mississippi State.
Nice little combination route out there between the two wide receivers. One breaking in, one breaking out. Fitzgerald's little play fake. Good timing and a good throw to the outside to Mixon.
Into the first quarter.
You know, LSU hasn't lost here as a ranked team since 1984. But they are in for a real fight tonight. We got a good one here in the SEC on ESPN. Stay with us. End of one. First play of the second quarter. There's play action. He's looking that way, but then had to come back and check down to Williams.
He made the right decision. He just didn't execute it correctly. Right decision to check it down. Poor execution because he didn't reset his feet one more time to make an accurate throw.
Now, defense dominated that first quarter. That was only the second play run so far in the opponent's territory for both teams.
Both teams have settled into the game, particularly defensively right now, and particularly on third down. Second down and 10 right now. Haven't seen a screen yet out of Mississippi State either.
There's Williams. He bounces it well into open space. Williams.
Well, the guy who makes a mistake is right here. Watch Tolliver. He's supposed to have the edge here, but he gets caught inside. Kevin Tolliver, the corner, he takes a bad angle, and he actually knocks his own guy down. Devin White, and a big run for the Bulldogs.
27-yard run for the A-Train. As he lead blocks for Fitzgerald, who took a shot from Jackson as he went down there.
It's the only thing you worry about. He's big, he's strong, he likes to run, but he takes shots like that. He's not looking to run out of bounds, and the guy behind him is a true freshman quarterback. So you always wonder about that when your quarterback runs the ball as much as Nick Fitzgerald does.
This time he shows it, fakes it, comes back, and he's able to get it to Mixon, and Mixon works his way inside the 5. It's going to be first and goal, Bulldogs.
Well, this is really good work by Nick Fitzgerald. He starts with his eyes looking to the left of the formation, works all the way back, and gets the safe completion.
Fitzgerald up and over, score it, Mississippi State.
Great job by the right guard, Deion Calhoun, and the right tackle, Stuart Reese, paving the way for their big quarterback. Take a look at the right side when Nick Fitzgerald takes off. Watch these two guys right here. Just get on the block, and Nick Fitzgerald runs right behind him and up over the top for the first touchdown of the ball game.
Nick Fitzgerald, the touchdown moments ago. You know, he had 13 yards rushing last year in total against LSU. How about 35 and that touchdown? And they are roaring down on the Bulldog sideline.
They're a very confident football team. And they're a much more mature football team than the one that went to Baton Rouge last year and lost to these Tigers.
Clark's kick will bring out the penalty flag. And here he is with a spin move out to the 40. Holly.
Well, his mother has said that it took a tribe to help raise him and get him out of that poverty and those abject conditions. But one of the women who really took him under her wing was a guidance counselor at Catholic High School. Stephanie De La Husse has been instrumental in his life. She guided him in his high school, but then she took him into her home. Meals, family vacations, really helped him be a good force. And they have all pitched in together to help this young man be where he is today.
He talks about how appreciative he has been for that sacrifice and that commitment. Here he goes again, trying to push the pile. Maybe 3rd and 1 when we reset here. Well, Stephanie's a great example of what we're celebrating this week. Extra Yard for Teachers Week. Week-long celebration of teachers led by the College Football Playoff Foundation through the Extra Yard for Teachers platform. We invite you to go to the College Football Playoff Foundation website, www.cfp-foundation.org to learn more.
And that's not Darius's mom, but that was a mom's reaction right there to Darius getting thrown back on that 2nd down run. He runs with passion, he hates to be tackled, and he hates to hit the ground.
3rd and 1. Full backfield with a whole lot of weight. And that guy behind him, and look at how he gets low and kept that balance past midfield.
Nice job by the backside guard, Garrett Brumfield. Watch 78. This is power. They run inside zone and they run power. They pull the backside guard, they bring the fullback over, and Darius Geis runs with power and speed. Sees the hole, gets skinny in the hole, and converts the 1st down easily.
Swap the tackle for tight end, overload near side. As Geis this time only able to get maybe a yard and a half.
See, when they move that tackle over, you would assume they're going to run that way because they have 2 offensive tackles lined up next to each other and a tight end in a tackle position. You show them that and try to run to the backside, but that was good discipline by the Mississippi State defense, not being fooled by the unbalanced line.
I got to tell you, it's a lot of fun to watch a Matt Canada offense, isn't it, Todd?
It is. Yeah, they challenge you. They really pressure you. You have to communicate well and then be set when the ball is snapped.
Geis, good block. He's dangerous in this spot. And a stiff arm for an extra ride, but that was Russell Gage, the senior receiver, setting it up for him.
See, you always have the threat of the jet sweep, and that influences inside linebackers. Watch them kind of hold with the fake to 19, and then Geis, once he gets that hole, gets to the outside, he has breakaway speed, and he's having a heck of a drive here in LSU's best offensive possession.
Williams, as he's able to get down to the 10-yard line. Holly.
Well, Ed Orgeron is taking these penalties very seriously. He said they hired extra officials this week at practice. Anything that was called in drills, in scrimmages, 1-versus-1, everything, they went back after practice and addressed. He said, we've addressed every single penalty that happened in the game last week. He's like, we're trying to find out the whys of some of these so the young people can learn what they're doing wrong. They have addressed it, but it has not continued to improve during this game.
Well, they have 3 so far, and one of them shouldn't have been called.
1st and goal. Williams. Touchdown, Tigers.
See, now this is tackle over, and they ran to it. So the end man on the line here is not a tight end. It's a tackle right here. Those are 2 tackles right next to each other. And watch Weathersby and Malone team up on the outside edge rusher and get the corner secure for Darrell Williams. They've shown that formation and run away from it. That time they showed it and ran to it for the touchdown.
Jack Gonsolin, the extra point.
Great response by LSU.
They had 8 plays on that drive. All runs, including the 10-yard score from the senior, Darrell Williams. Yeah, they've had a lot of celebration in recent years here, including what happened at the women's Final Four when Mississippi State snapped UConn's 111-game run. That was a stunner. Morgan Williams with the overtime jumper. Tied up here, 7 apiece. Williams had the touchdown run moments ago. Nixon thought about it. Hey, big man on campus is Nick Fitzgerald, 6'5" quarterback leading the way. As Williams goes ahead for maybe 3.5.
You know, last year when these two teams played, at the end of the first half, LSU held a 282-80 advantage in total yards. Right now, the game about as close as it could be. Mississippi State, 141 yards of total offense. LSU, 139. And even sevens on the scoreboard.
Sprint near side and able to get it complete, and that was Jesse Jackson.
Now, Nick Fitzgerald looks very comfortable running this offense. He does not look out of sorts at all. Much different looking than he looked playing in Baton Rouge against LSU in his third start. In this now his 16th start. A much different looking quarterback, a much more mature and confident quarterback.
Williams out past the 40.
Mississippi State in great field position again. Remember, Donald Gray very quiet in this ball game so far.
He's their best receiver. Option to the near side and met with ease as Chason and White converge.
Very well played. You have to really be disciplined. You've got to make sure you account for the quarterback, and Chason did that and was still able to go out and help Devin White on the pitch man. Dave Aranda, a little different coaching style here at LSU. At Wisconsin, it was a lot more schemes. They did a lot more. Here, especially with this young defense, a lot simpler and let the speed kind of take over.
Fitzgerald right over the middle. He was looking for options, and Keith Mixon is looking for a flag, and he's going to find it, as it was John Battle who had the coverage.
He was looking for Donald Gray first on the go route, and he read the coverage right because the safety was coming over the top to help on Donald Gray. That left single coverage underneath.
Defense. Comes the results of the first down.
Got the penalty on John Battle, the safety, who was working on Mixon. It was a good read by Fitzgerald. Find the single coverage. There you see it. Left hand on the jersey. Just kind of another unnecessary penalty for LSU.
Williams patiently waiting for the hole, and a good job of doing so to the 21-yard line, met by Alexander.
A lot of the penalties for LSU coming into this ball game had been pre-snap penalties, motion, alignment, offsides. These penalties in this game have been during the course of the play, and they've been much more costly than in those first two games.
Holly's Point, 8th play of this drive. Fitzgerald, as he goes just beyond the line of scrimmage, and that is Donald Gray.
That's 2 plays in a row. Nice plays by Corey Thompson, one of the great stories on this LSU team. Playing in his 6th year. He missed both 2014 and 2016 with injuries. He's had 3 red shirts. He's had to use 5 surgeries. And he is off to an outstanding start this year. Started out his career as a safety, playing as an outside linebacker edge rusher now. And coming out of the ball game for a rest after back-to-back stops on 1st and 2nd down.
3rd down and 6 now for Mississippi State.
Quarterback run is a factor.
nearly picked off as Battle was closing on it.
Battle did a great job of reading the quarterback's eyes. He left the inside coverage. Watch Battle right here. He's going to read the coverage and come off and read the eyes of the quarterback and make a break on the ball. And Nick Fitzgerald, pretty fortunate that that ball wasn't picked off.
Well, the place kicking duties have been a concern for Dan Mullen all week. He's going to send Jace Chrisman out there, the true freshman, to attempt his first field goal of his college career. 30-yarder for Chrisman. And he breaks the tie. Yeah, Mullen likes that. Young man from Houston did him well. Legends has those mini pork wings, Todd. Who does not like the mini pork wings?
Take the bone out of the equation and it's all right with me.
Who knew pigs could fly? (10-7). Bulldogs on top. Good one here in Starkville. Etling on 1st and 22. And he hasn't had a pass completed since the first play of their second drive.
Well, again, Jeffrey Simmons is causing problems. That time he was rushing right over the center, Will Clapp, and disrupted the timing and the rhythm of the throw. This guy learned how to become a dominant player by making mistakes and playing as a freshman last year. His preparation on and off the field this year significantly better, and he is a force to be reckoned with on the inside.
Geis trying to get some of this yardage back out to the 20. And you mentioned Jeffrey Simmons. What a week he had last week against Louisiana Tech. The block punt and recovered the ball in the end zone for a touchdown. And then, Todd, it would happen again. Another chance to score. Had a fumble recovery that the big man would take all the way back. 3rd and 15. Etling shovels it forward as he was nearly taken down. Just got it to Geis, but great pursuit. 11 guys running to the ball has been the call to order.
Well, pass rush, just a 4-man rush, but 3rd down, definite passing situation. There's only 4 rushers and 5 blockers, but they can't hold them out. The pocket collapses. Etling does a nice instinctive move to avoid the sack. But Mississippi State with another stop on 3rd down.
This is a bad punt by Groudon. And it takes a worse bounce just lingering at midfield. Empty set for Fitzgerald on 3rd and 11. And a first down with Green. Good athletic group of tight ends led by Farrod Green. First down, Mississippi State.
And this is a bust on the LSU's coverage. It was a 3-man route to the field side, and nobody picked up the tight end. Coverage had to come from the inside somewhere, but Farrod Green was left wide open, running the out route, a 20-yard gain on a busted coverage by LSU's defense.
Still 3 timeouts to work with as we come up on 2 minutes to play in this first half.
Good job of Nick Fitzgerald spreading the football around to multiple receivers and tight ends.
Williams leaping, hurdling, and getting about 8.5 yards as the reward. He went over Greedy Williams.
Now, Greedy Williams says, I'm going to go low on this power back. He went too low. And Williams went over the top and added about 7 more yards to the run.
And that's a 6'2" cornerback in Greedy Williams. Now they run option, and Fitzgerald struggles to get back to the line. Big Christian Longachore and Arden Key meet him. as the clock counts down, facing a third down.
That's good work by both of those guys. Arden Key set the edge and forced the quarterback back inside to his teammate Lockature, and he made the tackle.
So Dan Mullen managing this final minute here, 3rd and 1. And Fitz is going to pick it up. And now 3 timeouts, and the clock, of course, stops with the first down.
That's just hard to stop. He's 6'5", 230 pounds, running behind that big offensive line, and you only need a yard.
Now they got to think about how to better manage this final half minute. Will he take a shot? Pressured and brought down. Arden Key doing what he does best.
Came all the way around the top.
And the helmet comes off, so he has to come out of the game for a play, Todd.
Yeah, that means a true freshman coming in.
Timeout. Mississippi State.
Smart decision to take a timeout.
First time out of the half.
And make sure you're squared away on this next play. Arden Key over the top, around the right tackle, Stuart Reese, and gets his first sack of the 17th season.
And because of that timeout being called, Nick Fitzgerald can stay in the game. .27 seconds remain. Here he is to pass again. A lot of time. Under route this time. Mixon inside the 10. Puts on a move. And they're going to mark him down at about the 1-yard line.
Well, you can see how LSU is trying to rush the passer with discipline. The pocket holds. Fitzgerald reads the coverage and gets the underneath throw to Mixon, who stepped out of bounds before he got to the end zone.
Kylan Hill in the game. Here's Fitzgerald again probing the interior. Remember, 2 timeouts remain here.
All right, now here's what might come up here. They're going to use another timeout and be ready for the Tim Tebow pop pass play off that run fake. They've worked on it. It's a part of their offensive goal line package, and it would be a good option right here. They still have one more timeout if they don't score.
As it is 2nd and goal.
You have your 2 tight ends are both to the left side of the formation.
The big one is 83, Thomas, 6'5", 280. Can he get in? Yes, he does it again. Nick Fitzgerald.
His decision-making in this first half has been outstanding. You put him on the edge to the wide side of the field, and it's a run-pass option. Now, these guys are all coming inside, and here's your intended receiver. But Nick Fitzgerald knows I've got a run-pass option. If I don't love this throw, I'm going to take it myself. It's a great decision, no hesitation. And another touchdown for Nick Fitzgerald.
His 5th rushing touchdown of the year.
Mississippi State, with all the momentum, will have the ball to start the 3rd quarter as well.
We got something brewing here in Starkville. Nick Fitzgerald, couple of touchdown runs, and the Bulldogs are up 17-7. As we send it back to Adnan Burke in the studio. The number 12 team in the country is in a 10-point hole. Mississippi State with Nick Fitzgerald and his 2 rushing touchdowns at home. Always dangerous at home, always loud here. But just some perspective here. LSU, when they've been ranked, has won 20 of the last 21 matchups here.
Yeah. But the problem for them tonight is Mississippi State has better balance offensively. The running and the passing has been more effective. LSU needs to pick up their passing game in the second half, and then a couple costly penalties. They really need to shore that up as well.
Really saw that balance on that last drive of the first half, capped by Fitzgerald's score. Holly, moments ago with Coach O.
Well, Coach, 2 touchdowns wiped off the board with penalty. How did you address it with your team?
Stupid penalties. We got to take care of each other. If it's close, we can't do it.
How does the running threat of their quarterback affect what you're able to do defensively?
They've done a good job. We're getting out of position up front. They circled us a couple of times. They're doing a good job.
Thanks, Coach.
Go Tigers.
Well, they need to get going here. And they need to cut down on the penalties and find a way to stop number 7 in maroon.
Yeah, I think this is an important drive. I know it's the first possession of the third quarter, but I think for the LSU defense to make a statement, this is a very important possession right here.
And it'll start with Williams as he is taken down after a gain of just 1 by Dante Jackson.
Dave Aranda, the defensive coordinator in his second year. Everywhere he's been since 2013, he's had a defense that finished in the top 10. They're currently 9th coming into the game tonight. He's very successful at Wisconsin as well as LSU, but they've got to come up with some stops here.
And Thomas wrestled down by Jackson. I find Aranda to be such an interesting guy. He's always on those lists of the fast rising coordinators and assistants through the years. Never played a season of actual football himself. He was a student assistant at a Division III college program and just rose up through the ranks.
Got a degree in philosophy from Cal Lutheran. Got a master's degree from Texas Tech after that. He's a very thoughtful guy. Interesting guy to talk to.
3rd and 2. Fitzgerald looking and threw it to the outside there. Incomplete. Looking for
Jackson. A late flag. This is going to be a late hit on the quarterback. I think maybe by Arden Key, and it was unnecessary. The pressure forced the throwaway.
Personal foul. Roughly passer with targeting. Number 9.
Actually,
15 yards.
Well, they called the penalty on Grant Delpit, the safety.
This play is under further review.
I thought it was Donnie Alexander that hit the quarterback late, but it was just, that's a foolish penalty. Donnie Alexander hits the quarterback. It wasn't on 9, it was on 48. Nick Fitzgerald knows he has to throw the football away. LSU had won the play on 3rd down, and they would have got a 3 and out. But another costly penalty gives Mississippi State new life.
And here's Williams. Picks up a good block from a receiver downfield and a chunk play as Mississippi State is on the move again. 19-yard run.
Well, and that might be the guy who comes in for Alexander. Number 24 is supposed to set the edge, does not do it. And you can see the runner able to get outside all the way. Tyler Taylor, number 24, in for Donnie Alexander, and did not do a good job setting the edge of the defense.
So the true freshman has to come in as Alexander ejected with the targeting call. That was a nice block from Keith Nixon as well, springing him. Williams. Another strong effort that time.
This running game for Mississippi State is very tough to defend because you've got inside power running with Eris Williams, and then you've got outside running threat with Nick Fitzgerald, and they spread you out with all the wide receivers, so you have to go cover the whole width of the field. You got safety help coming over the top on Donald Gray.
Locachore with the tackle on Williams. Williams has put together a really strong night. His 4th career 100-yard game. Talk so much about Darius Geis, and look at the A train, Eris Williams. Third down and 4. Fitzgerald. And coming out of the backfield was Williams, but coming in hard was Devin White.
Good solid tackle in the open field by Devin White. 4th down. It appears that Dan Mullen will go for it here. Nope.
Now this is interesting as he's going to trot out Chase Chrisman. All week long, he didn't know who would be his kicker of choice. Tucker Day was a big recruit. Chrisman came in, hit some PATs last week, earlier connected from 30. This from 45. And I think Dan Mullen has found himself a kicker. A year ago right now, he was booting them down at Memorial High in Houston. Now he's in the big time, SEC, prime time, and adding to it for the Dogs. We got an upset brewing here in the SEC. Geis kept his footing for a moment, out to the 42-yard line.
I think Mississippi State so far in this ballgame has done a nice job of tackling Darius Geis. He is such a dangerous runner if he gets into open spaces, but Todd Grantham's defense, one of their mottos is being 11 guys running to the football full speed. They've done a nice job of tackling him and limiting his big plays so far.
Second and 4, tackled for a loss, Braxton Hoyett.
Not sure who made the mistake here, but the right guard and the right tackle, one of those guys has to get Hoyett. They're both trying to release to the second level, and nobody blocks the man right in front of them. And Hoyett with the play behind the line of scrimmage.
And listen to the wall of sound that will arrive with these cowbells on 3rd and 5. Etling to pass. Right in the face mask of Russell Gage. Incomplete, 4th down.
And that's on Gage. When you run an out route like that, you have to get out of the break and get your head and eyes around first. This ball is thrown with perfect timing, but Gage is late getting his head around, and the ball hits him right in the face. You throw that with timing, and the receiver's got to get his head and eyes around before anything else.
Fifth punt of the night for Bowden. That Mississippi State defense is much improved, and they are showing it tonight. A 13-point lead over the 12th team in the land. Yards from Williams.
The penalties have just really hurt LSU. Took points off the board. Now, I think this one right here and I think this one right here were not proper calls. I don't think either one of them should have been called. But the rest of them stand, and they've been costly with yardage. They've been costly with extending drives, and they've been costly with taking points off the board with touchdowns. You just can't win a game like this on the road against a good opponent, a solid opponent that's on equal footing with you, if you make those kind of mistakes.
Fitzgerald, quick strike and quickly met was Keith Mixon. Check in with Ollie.
Guys, the defensive front for LSU is in a shambles right now. Rashard Lewis, we already told you, not playing in this game with a high ankle. Ed Alexander not likely to return with a right hand injury. His backup, Neil Farrell, was just ejected from the game. So they are 3 defensive linemen down right now. They are running out of bodies on this sideline.
What an obstacle for Dave Aranda to manage that defense and the personnel. 3rd and 1, and that should be right on the line to make. And check on the mark here.
The longer that these guys who are still healthy on this defensive front are in the game, the more fatigue is going to play a factor as this game wears on. Arden Key, we already talked about, this is his first game back since last season. And they were hoping to get 30 plays out of him. He might have to play 50 plays tonight just by necessity.
Here's Gray, and he was tackled right away by Kevin Tolliver.
The decision-making of Nick Fitzgerald tonight, I just think, has been brilliant. I just think he is very sure of where he wants to go with the football. He's not taking any unnecessary risks. You know, last year, Dan Mullen said he just made plays with his athleticism. He is so much more aware of what a quarterback's supposed to do now.
2nd and 3. Williams brought down by Glenn Logan. You know, he also made the point to us, Todd, that last season was really a wake-up call for everybody, that just there's more buy-in overall and focus and attention to details as a team.
Take a look at what he did last year, what he's doing tonight. Those aren't staggering numbers on the other side, but the decision-making you can't quantify with stats. That part has been outstanding tonight.
3rd and 1. Hit that ball on the hip well, and Mixon's going to walk in. Oh, what a night for Fitzgerald. Six straight completions for Nick Fitzgerald. A 45-yard touchdown toss to Keith Mixon. They got a little something bubbling up here in Starkville this year, don't they? Well, here's a great tradition at Mississippi State. The Dairy Science Department. They've been producing cheese going back to 1938. You know, Todd Blackwood loves that, the ice cream that they make here. Plus, they bring it up to the booth. That's why he really likes it. And this crowd and these cowbells are roaring and ringing with a 20-point lead. Edwards-Helaire on the return. Met before he even got to the 20. Can the Tigers find some momentum? Dice, tough to find anything. That is a sneaky good game right there. Adnan, oh, off the hands of DJ Chark. Missed opportunity.
When you're struggling offensively, particularly in your passing game, you have to be able to find a way to come down with these plays. You get a chance for a big-time play with your best receiver, and Chark's just not able to bring it in. And now you're looking at 3rd and long with this fast defense and this crowd getting revved up again. They have multiple get-back coaches on the Mississippi State sideline.
3rd and 7. Incomplete.
Jeffrey Simmons again with pressure. Todd Grantham loves it. That 3rd and 7 is a hard play. The 2nd and 7 was an easy play that they didn't make.
That's an early surrender, Cobra. Far too early. We still got a lot of ball to play here. But LSU fans haven't had a lot to enjoy. Too much of this. Josh Grouden punting again. Donald Gray, could he? Cuts back. He's got space. Spins. Still on his feet. Picking up blocks. And it's that kind of night for the Dogs.
The whole key when you're returning a punt is to try to make the first guy miss. Todd Harris Jr., number 33, is the first guy down there. And Donald Gray makes him miss. A missed tackle. And the next thing you know, Mississippi State with excellent field position again on their other side of the 50, thanks to Donald Gray. He has not had a big night as a receiver, but he's had a couple nice returns to help out his offense.
It was a 51-yard punt with decent hang time, but he returned it 34 yards. And back to business for Fitz. That mesh point was a little awkward, but this is pure beauty for Fitzgerald again. "24 more yards.
He started to take it inside. Watch the read. He's going to take it inside. He said, wait a minute. He didn't set a hard edge. He was reading the defensive end, Chason. Chason committed too far inside, and you see the speed of Nick Fitzgerald when he got to the perimeter.
Chason missed the tackle. Fitzgerald, boy, he can accelerate with that 6'5", 230-pound frame, can he? As Williams gets ahead close to the 10-yard line. 12 rushes for 68 yards for Fitzgerald, 130-plus yards rushing for Williams.
They have really found ways to attack this LSU defense. LSU hurting with injuries, penalties, but Nick Fitzgerald and this offense really mixing it up well.
Interesting stat you saw there from the start of last season. Nobody in the SEC has more runs over 10 yards than the quarterback at Mississippi State, Nick Fitzgerald. Pulls this time and barely gets back to the line. Chason able to stay with them.
That time Chason maintained the edge. Again, Chason is one of several true freshmen who have played this year. The play before, when Fitzgerald had the long run, he did not do a good job setting a hard edge and hemming in the quarterback. That time he did, and it was a very minimal gain on second down.
Third and 5. Looks back to this side and then throws it away. So the walk-on kicker will come out there. Jace Chrisman, prior to tonight, never hit a field goal in college football. Came in, hit a couple extra points last week, already 2 for 2. Make it 3 for 3. 30-7. So glad you're with us on ESPN College Football Primetime, presented by Hampton by Hilton. Alongside Holly Rowe and Todd Blackledge, I'm Joe Tessitore here in Starkville. Home team has had it their way all night long. Edwards-Helaire got the stop sign there. Look at the last 5 drives. And you see 4 punts among them. Keep in mind the 2 penalties taking out touchdowns and 2 penalties targeting with ejections to defensive players as well. Jeffrey Simmons creating a wall against Darius Geis.
This Jeffrey Simmons has had one heck of a football game now. I mean, he was so fired up before the game, getting into it with some guys, Arden Key, Darius Geis early, but he has come to play.
Here's that jet sweep with Gage as he tries to get to the corner. Leo Lewis and Rashard Durr were finding him.
LSU only 2 of 9 on third down. Their average yard to gain has been 7. This is a 3rd and 5. Todd Grantham's defense, with the aid of the crowd, has been outstanding on third down tonight.
3rd down and 5. Etling trying to extend it, trying to survive it. And incomplete as Green and Sweat were on the hunt of Danny Etling.
These two outside rushers are rangy guys. Watch Sweat force the play and Green clean up the play. These guys are both like 6'5", 245, can run. And they are making life miserable for Danny Etling on this play.
Remember what happened the last time Growden was out there punting away to Donald Gray. Just over half a minute to play here in this 3rd quarter. That has been all high energy for Mississippi State. Kylan Hill, the true freshman from nearby Columbus, Mississippi, in at running back. Fitzgerald downfield again and defended well as coverage on Gray came from the appropriately named Greedy Williams.
Greedy Williams is a redshirt freshman starting over Kevin Tolliver. Kind of a surprise to some people. But the coaches told us when he came in as a true freshman, right away he had a swagger, and he lined up against Malachi Dupree, the best receivers, and challenged him and had a confidence about him from day one, and it's really paid off to start this season.
He came into tonight leading the SEC in passes defended per game. Williams, as he cut back, had good blocking set up. It'll be 3rd down. Mississippi State hasn't gone 3 and out even once tonight as the clock counts down here to the 4th quarter. And they're hoping to bring this thing in for a smooth landing. Big night in Starkville for the Dogs. Can they continue on that track towards a win? Stay with us.
Well, their very first date was a football game here at Mississippi State, and so it's just fitting that 2 years later on their anniversary, Eric asked Caitlin to marry him on the field. He said, I got field passes. She had no idea. I just dragged her out on the field just now, and she's like, I'm so shocked. They're both in tears. We're all crying down here. Congratulations. Caitlin said yes.
Caitlin said yes.
I mean, she almost has to, right? In front of all these people.
Exactly.
If she says no, the guy's ruined.
Start of the 4th quarter. Now you wouldn't, Todd. Question is, how can LSU possibly come back from this? 3rd and 4. Fitzgerald. Well-run pattern by Donald Gray, just finding that seam on the inside. 1st down, Dogs.
Just the comfort level of Nick Fitzgerald. He comes back looking right. He knows he's going to throw to the left, and he just smoothly adjusts his weight. He moves his eyes, and he delivers a soft, catchable pass for a 1st down conversion. I've been very impressed with Nick Fitzgerald. By far his best game and most productive game of this season.
Williams He's going to walk away here with a really nice stat line. Good night from Harris Williams. You know, yesterday Dan Mullen said something to us in terms of the evolution of his quarterback. He said this year he knows the role of being a starter. He was talking about maturity.
Maturity, how
awareness.
to prepare, how to study, how to be engaged in the game plan. The next evolution for him will be understanding all the whys. Why do we want to run this play against this defense? Why do we want to do this? And Dan Mullen historically has done a great job of teaching and training quarterbacks, both physically and mentally. One of the very best in college football.
Keeps. Big run, Fitzgerald. Every which way, Nick Fitzgerald. 19 more yards.
Well, they just have this LSU defense flustered. They're tired up front. They're playing with the same guys. And they're running inside, they're running outside, they're throwing. And they're wearing this LSU defense out.
Guys like Glenn Logan. Greg Gilmore. Remember, they are undermanned. Injured and then targeting ejections. He's going to pass off of it, and another touchdown. Dedrick Thomas. Nick Fitzgerald is lighting them up.
I think he might have twisted his ankle a little bit on the running play before that. He was a little gingerly coming off the field. But that was, again, perfectly executed, selling the run before making the throw.
They have been rolling downhill this whole second half. 2 touchdown passes on the night for Big Nick. Pure passion, unbridled, energy emitted from every ounce of this place tonight, as Mississippi State has scored on 7 straight possessions.
I wonder if when Bully goes to Athens next week, if they'll give him bags of ice to lay on like Uga gets.
Well, Uga is treated like a king, isn't he? That is going to be quite the showdown next week. Etling. Couldn't get it to Drake Davis.
You know, the way the SEC has been over the last several years, particularly the SEC West, it always seems to be about who can make a run at Alabama, who can contest them. A lot of people thought Auburn might this year, and then they had a tough game against Clemson. Not to say their season is over, they still can't become a great team, but in the early stages of this year, this game was, I thought, an opportunity for both of these teams to really show something. Mississippi State looks like a team, if they keep working, will be able to play right with Alabama.
There's a well-executed shovel tomorrow for a first down. Here's a screen, and Dillon, as he bubbles it out and gets nowhere. That was J.T. Gray on the tackle. Darius Geis, 76 yards, held without a score tonight. Incomplete, looking for Dillon again.
I've been impressed not just with the offensive execution of Mississippi State tonight, but their defensive execution. Todd Grantham, the new coordinator, a very aggressive style, but Mississippi State has been in the right place at the right time virtually all night.
3rd and 11. Batted away by Leo Lewis.
Leo Lewis actually left his coverage on the tight end, read where the quarterback was going with the ball. This is a beautiful play by Leo Lewis. Watch number 10 on the left of your screen. He's on the tight end, but he sees the quarterback going to chart behind him and falls back and makes the play. Leo Lewis had 10 tackles against LSU last year as a freshman. It was a big play right there.
Fourth down. A-gap pressure. Picked up, launched, and nearly intercepted. It'll be a turnover on downs.
And look at Todd Grantham. He wanted that stop. He wanted to keep that 7 on the scoreboard. He had his main guys in there, and this has been a defensive masterpiece for the Bulldogs.
Well, this has been a masterful performance by the Mississippi State defense with their new coordinator, Todd Grantham. We asked him what was the focus on getting this defense into shape, and he said championship habits. The defensive line habits he's trying to set the edges, their get-off and their hand uses. For the linebackers, downhill run fits and eye control. For the DBs, force run fits, eye control, and play deep balls down the field. I would say those habits have been full effect tonight.
Check all the boxes for that defense as Nick Fitzgerald will take a rest, get ready for Georgia. Keaton Thompson, the true freshman from New Orleans, who was the #1 quarterback recruit in the state of Louisiana last year. Now a guy who could have a bright future here at Mississippi State.
Played on 3 state championship teams at Landry Walker High School.
Beat a very good West Monroe team. 2nd and 5. So he gets to clean things up here in what'll be a big night of celebrating here in Starkville. Kylan Hill, good-looking freshman running back with the carry. Of course, we still got Ole Miss and Cal set to come your way. The first meeting ever between Ole Miss and Cal.
Well, one game does not define a season, that's for sure, for either one of these teams, for LSU or for Mississippi State. But if you're LSU, number one, you got to clean up your act. You've got to clean up the penalties, because now as you get into SEC play pretty exclusively, you just can't afford to do that. So that would be number 1 on the list, and then work to improve the efficiency of your passing game on offense.
Here's Nick Gibson with a first down. Check in with Adnan.
All right, Tess, an update once again on what has been a defensive struggle, Texas and USC. But here's that Longhorns defense put the pressure on Sam Darnold, a tip, and then Deshaun Elliott takes over. Texas looking good, 7-0 right now, almost at the half, Joe.
Getting down low, Franco Harris-esque there with the tip and the catch. I think there's going to be a lot of people who look at this scoreboard and say, how, what did we miss with both sides, LSU and Mississippi State?
And there were no fluke plays. There were no block kicks. This was just a dominating effort on both sides of the ball by Mississippi State.
Time to celebrate here in Starkville. And why not? Because this LSU team for years has gotten the best of them. They had won 8 straight in Starkville. They hadn't lost here as a ranked team since 1984. But not tonight. Not anymore. There's always a team or two that everybody missed on. And perhaps it is these Bulldogs, as Dan Mullen's bunch will move their mark to 3-0 with an absolute beatdown of LSU. Dice was held to 15 rushes for 76 yards. The star was Nick Fitzgerald. He's with Holly.
Well, Nick, you were asked to make some crucial decisions, none more crucial than the 2 touchdowns in the first half that set the tone. How were you so good making those decisions?
We had a great game plan coming in. We knew what they were going to do. We knew how to attack them. We knew that we could make it happen. Just talking, all it came down to was executing, being consistent, and just playing within yourself, playing within the system.
You had to do a little bit of everything, run the ball, throw the ball. How were you able to play within yourself and still shine?
I have great teammates. I have great blockers. I have great people running routes. I have a fantastic team. Obviously, we're pretty good. So I have a very great supporting cast. It's not on me by any means. Everybody else deserves a lot of credit too.
The last 3 games with LSU have come down to the wire. What does this say about your team that you did this so decisively?
I don't think it was an upset by any means. No one in our facility would have said it was an upset. They came out and played hard. But like I said, we had a great plan. We knew all we had to do was just play within ourselves, handle what we were going to do our 1/11th of the job, and just go out there and play hard.
I know you wanted to play hard for your grandpa, Fred. What's it like to have him here watching you play in this moment?
It's incredible. Honestly, a month ago we didn't think he was going to make it. And he kept telling me, Nick, I'm going to make it to the LSU game. I'm going to be there. I'm going to watch. And I'm just so happy he was here and be able to see this.
Thank you. See you next week at Georgia.
You can hear the emotion in his voice, and we will see that showdown next week at Georgia.
Yeah, and all the issues that LSU had to face coming on the road in the SEC, the shoe will be on the other foot next week.
The Georgia native, Nick Fitzgerald. He went to their camp. His uncle played there. Nothing came of it. He's come to Starkville and become a star, leading the way for a 30-point victory over LSU. We got Cal and Ole Miss coming up, but now Adnan, Joey, and Jesse with the college football scoreboard. So long from Stark Vegas.